In this video, we will discuss Prologue of Canterbury Tale. The general prologue serves as an introduction to the entire pilgrimage narrative. Chaucer describes 29 pilgrims who gather at the Tabard Inn before starting their journey to Canterbury. The host of the inn, Harry Bales, suggests a storytelling contest to entertain the pilgrims during the journey. So each pilgrims will tell the two stories going to the Canterbury Tale and two while returning. The pilgrims who tells the story will receive a free dinner at the Tabard Inn. The idea becomes the framework of the entire book. The opening line famous, which is the famous beginning. The prologue begins with the famous lines describing the spring. Meaning of these lines are: when April's sweet showers bring new life after the dryness of March, people feel inspired to go on pilgrimages. Spring symbolizes renewal, life, and spiritual awakening. Purpose of the prologue. Chaucer introduces pilgrims from different social classes such as knight, squire, prioress, monk, friar, merchant, clerk, wife of bath, miller, partner, and person. Chaucer uses irony and humor to criticize social corruption. Examples are: the monk prefers hunting instead of religious duties. The friar is more interested in money than spirituality. The partner sells fake religious relics. By this, Chaucer describes and gives the social satire. Chaucer makes the characters look vivid and realistic by describing their appearance, clothes, behavior, and occupation. For example, knight represents the true chivalry. The wife of Bath represents independent medieval woman. Important theme of this prologue is social diversity. The pilgrims represents three medieval estates: nobility, knight and squire; clergy, monk, friar, and partner; common people like miller, merchant, wife of bath. It shows corruption in the church, such as characters partner, friar, and monk. Next, it describes human nature like greed, vanity, honor, hypocrisy, wisdom. Let's understand Chaucer's narrative style. So he presents irony. For example, Chaucer often pretends to praise characters while actually criticizing them. Example, the monk is described as manly and fond of hunting, which is actually inappropriate for a monk. His narrative style presents humor. Many descriptions are comic and playful, making the text entertaining. And it also gives realism. For example, Chaucer gives detailed physical description which makes characters feel real. Why the prologue is important? The prologue is important because it introduces all main characters, it shows 14th century English society, it uses satire to criticize corruption of the church, it establishes the storytelling framework. Here are 10 important quotations from this prologue. Pardon me for the pronunciation error in the original lines. So the first one is: Wonna the April with the shores suit the drouth of March hath perceived the root. Meaning, April's sweet shower revived the dry land of March. It symbolizes renewal and the beginning of the pilgrimages. Second, reason of the pilgrimages. Then Longen folk to go on pilgrimages, meaning during spring people feel the spiritual desire to go on pilgrimages. Third, the pilgrimages gathering. We feel that in that season on a day in Southwark at the Tabard Inns as I lay, meaning the narrator meets the pilgrims at the Tabard Inn, the starting point of the journey. Fourth, the knight ideal character. A knight there was, and that a worthy man, meaning the knight represents true chivalry, honor, and bravery. Fifth, the prioress' gentle personality, and she was clapped Madame Elgithin, meaning the prioress tries to behave like a refined noble lady, showing Chaucer's subtle satire. Sixth, the monk's satire on church. He yet net of that text a pulled hen, meaning the monk does not care about monastic rules. Chaucer criticizes the corruption in the church. Seventh, the friar, hypocrisy. Full well beloved and familiar was the with frankness over all in his country, meaning the friar is friendly with rich people, showing his greed and hypocrisy. 8. The wife of Bath, strong female voice. Husbands at Cyril door she had five, meaning the wife of Bath had five husbands, representing independence and experience. Ninth, the partner, corruption in religious. Four in his male and had a beard, meaning the partner carries fake relics like a pillowcase, pretending to be a holy. This shows religious fraud. 10th shows Chaucer's humble narrator tone. But first I pray you of your courtesy, meaning the narrator politely asks readers not to blame him for repeating the pilgrim's words.